All right, so why don't we dive in and get started? So, it all starts with one idea. You want to launch your Amazon business, but you need a product, right? So, what if you can't think of a product? What if you have no clue where to start? Where would you go? So, I'm going to show you a couple of really cool places. But also, you have to remember, what if you've come up with a great idea? And this happened to me. I had what I thought was a brilliant idea, and I started doing my product research, but the data did not support it as a viable product. So I had to step back and say, okay, as much as I love this product idea, it's not going to work. The data doesn't support it. So I need to start over and go back to square one and come up with something new. So is anyone out there stuck? Does anyone have your product ideas, or tell me where you are in your process for this? Have you got an idea? Are you searching or struggling with trying to find an idea? It can be hard. I mean, I'm not the most creative person. I'm a little bit more analytical and data driven. So coming up with something creative was definitely challenging for me. So I'll give everyone, it takes a second for you to pop into the chat and we'll see where you guys are with your process. So one thing that you need to think about when you're coming up with a product idea is considering and knowing your customer avatar. So if you know who your customer avatar is, then you can think about what do they do and what products do they use on a regular basis. And really cool exercise that I did when I was coming up with creating my brand and my brand avatar was to just go through and literally write down a day in the life. My customer avatar actually has a name. Her name is Amy Green. And so I literally wrote out a day in the life of Amy Green and what kind of things she encounters on a daily basis, where she goes, what she does, and what's important to her. And so that would help me generate ideas for what type of products she would use on a regular basis. All right, so Ian, just starting out, no ideas yet. Fantastic. Well, hopefully we'll be able to get your creative juices flowing today with our strategies. And San, you've got an idea, but working out if there's a need. Yep. PickFu is really good. PickFu is really great because you can be a lot more laser focused and with who your audience is. Google surveys, you don't really know who you're going to get. So keep that in mind when you're looking at your Google survey results. They may not be as accurate as your PickFu results because you can really identify that audience. But also don't forget, you need to have the data of the demand just in general from Amazon. And that's what our tools are going to be able to help you do. That's what ZonGuru is all about. All right. So does everyone have a customer avatar yet? Do you know who you're trying to sell to? Or are you just really trying to figure out first, which way are you going? Because it's the chicken before the egg. Do you have your customer avatar and find a product for them? Or do you find a product that has good data and then develop an avatar around that? So that think about, you can do it either way. So I don't know if you guys can hear my dogs barking. Apologies. We are live. So I forgot to give you guys a heads up at the beginning because we are live and there may be interruptions with dogs and neighbors. But life happens and we appreciate your patience on that. And if you guys do have to step away for any reason, you will get a recording of this session. So Chris, you found a product and you've began sourcing. Excellent. Shipping costs might make it unviable. Yeah, shipping costs are a thing. You've got to look at all of that, and don't forget to factor in your duties also when you're importing it, because that can really add a significant amount, especially if you fall into that extra 25% tariff. So you got to make sure you look at all of those numbers and the numbers bear out before you actually place your order. All right, so if you got your customer avatar, you know what they do and use on a regular basis, that can help you generate some product ideas. But if you have absolutely no clue, the first place to go is going to be Niche Finder. And we're going to do a live demo. And if you've been to some of our sessions before, you've probably seen us use Niche Finder. So we'll just go through that kind of quickly and see what kind of ideas you can come up with and some ways to get some real general ideas. And then a really cool way to generate product ideas is using keywords on fire. And this is a strategy that a lot of people wouldn't have necessarily thought of, or that I don't think a lot of people use. So we're going to give that a go as well. So let me just get my screen ready here, and I'll share my screen, and we'll switch over and take a look at Niche Finder. Jump right into the live demo. All right, so can everyone see my screen? I've got Niche Finder pulled up. So I've left this pretty much wide open. I really want to see exactly what is out there. And I've narrowed it down to 3 categories that I'm comfortable working within. So I've got baby products, home and kitchen, and pet supplies. You could leave this completely open and select all and just really see everything that's out there. But I wanted to stick with just these 3 and keep it a little bit focused. But as you can see, I haven't set any of my filters over here. So I haven't selected anything. I haven't selected a niche score. I can use the search, the headers here, and sort by those different items when I get my results. Now, I have excluded a few keywords that I didn't want to clutter up my results with things that I'm really not wanting to get into. So I've excluded some holiday terms. I've excluded some things related to COVID, a brand name that tends to pop up a lot in these niches, and some other accessories and supplements and things that I don't want to deal with. So we'll hit search and we'll see what comes up. So so you can sort it by the niche score first. And so I've done that. All right. And so these are our results. So, okay. Tanning bed pillow. That one, I didn't even know that was a thing. So let's take a look and see what that looks like. So we've got a search volume of 2,000. Yeah, that's a little bit low. Not a huge demand, but I mean, overall, it's got an 85% rating. Average sales are quite good though on this. That's pretty good. The price point, probably a bit lower than I would want to go for. $20, not that huge. They all kind of look a lot the same. So there might be some ways that you could differentiate this and make this something viable, but that average revenue is huge. So, you know, even though the products aren't that expensive, it looks like there's quite a lot of sales going on. So that's something that I might decide to favorite. So I could just come over here, and if I just tick the little star, I can add that to my favorites, and then I can come back to that at any point in time and look at that in a little bit deeper dive, and it won't use up a session because I've added it to my favorites. So let's keep going, see what else we've come up with. Okay, so cat advent. I have no idea what that is. That just is interesting. Let's see. So it has to do with Christmas. So I don't want to do anything seasonal, so I'll get rid of that. I thought it might be. What else have we got? So I didn't put Halloween, Valentine's in, or Mardi Gras. So keep going. See what else we've got that jumps out. A spry pillow. I have no idea what that is. Seems like pillows. Oh, Spry must be a brand. Okay, so we don't want to stick around with that. So we'll eliminate the brands. Now, I've gotten down to the end of my list. I didn't see too much more that I like, so I will click load more and then keep seeing. And when I click load more, it doesn't use up another session. So that's really cool. So, oh, pool table rule signs. That's an interesting. I never would have thought of that. So that's a pretty good niche score too, 78%. Good sales. The search volume's pretty low though, so that's not so great, but still it must have a decent demand because it's got some good sales. Maybe people are using a different word to search for, and that's what's generating the sales. So you could find out more keywords if you put some of these products into Keywords on Fire and see what else people are going for. The revenue looks good and the launch budget looks good, and there's not that many people doing it FBA, so that also looks pretty good. So that one I might add to favorites and look at that a little bit deeper as well. Yeah, because you could get kind of creative with that and how you design that. Those all do kind of look very similar, like they've just taken like these 3, all the same. So they've probably just taken this straight off of Alibaba. Excuse me. All right, what else have we got? Let's see. Love sign. Oh, that's cool. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, those are cute. I like that. You could come up with some creative ways to do that. It doesn't necessarily even have to be electronic. Like you can see these are wooden, so those wouldn't be very expensive, and you could get creative with the font or the way it's positioned. This one, it's got it really nicely with a little frame around it. The search volume is huge on this, but we're this right now. It's March, so Niche Finder is historical data. So this is probably still pulling in from Valentine's Day, because this is going to look at Niche Finder is going to look at the historical data on the niches. So later on, this would be one I would look at, but I would definitely add them to Sales Spy and see if we've got any seasonality to it that generates around Valentine's Day, because it may not be something that bears out all year long, but then again, it might. So you never can tell. So that one's pretty interesting. The average price is pretty good on that, but the ratings are super high. That's pretty, I mean, but then we've got one here. Well, it's not a really great one, but here's still not good sales. So 183 with 539 sales. So yeah, this would be one I would still look at, even though at first glance that looks really, really high. There may be a couple of outliers in there that are really causing that score to go up. So I would look at it a little bit further and see. So yeah, I've already got that one in favorites. So all kinds of interesting things here. And safe space sign, I have no idea what that is. Wood crate, okay, that's interesting. Oh, that's got a really healthy search volume. So we've seen this come up with a different search volume on another session. I think we had wood crate unfinished last week when we did our searches, but this one isn't qualifying it as unfinished, which that opens you up to be able to do a lot of differentiation. So we've got a really healthy search volume here, a great number of sales, a really good price point. And for the US, those ratings are a bit high, but they're not ridiculously high. And the average rating is 4.3. So there's definitely some room for improvement there. So there's not that many people that are scoring a full 5 on that. So that's pretty good. The revenue and the launch budget are still bearing out really good. And the PPC bid, I like that. That's a pretty low PPC bid. So I think we will. Yep, I've already favorited that one. And you can just take a look here. You've got quite a few different things. You've got these are all solid and they're dark stained, but their photo is really not very good. This photo is really poor. And it looks like even though they've got 1,400 ratings, they're only a 3-star. So yeah, there's definitely some room to get in here and make some improvements. Now this one's cute. They've done a nice job of staging that one and showing a way that you could use it. And then here we've got some kind of rustic whitewashed crates. And this photo is so obviously photoshopped, it's not even funny. So yeah, there's definitely some room to look at this one a little bit more. So you can see we've only taken about 5 minutes on this, and we've come up with some really cool product ideas super quick. And I think you guys are all familiar with how Niche Finder works, so I'm not going to go any further into that. What I really want to dive into is the strategy for keywords on fire, because this is a way to use keywords on fire that you probably haven't seen before. So I've got keywords on fire opened up here, and I kind of got inspired with the wooden crates and the different signage that I was seeing when I was doing my Niche Finder. So I just backed it up and went really, really generic with my search term. So I just ran a session with home decor. So really very generic search term. You could do something, along the lines of gardening. You could do camping, just really generic, broad terms. Pick whatever items show up and run your session, and then see what keywords pop up that will generate product ideas. So let's take a look and see what we've got here. So let me bring the screen up. So home decor accents, wall decor for living rooms. So that's a pretty specific keyword, but that has got a decent search volume, 5,000 search volume. That's pretty good. Table decor, gold room decor. So that's got a good search volume and a really good amount of revenue being generated from that. So that could help you kind of narrow in your focus, because in the US you want to go with that micro niche. So we got wall home decor, room wall decor, large wall decor. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but if you click on any of these, it'll take you to Amazon and show you exactly what that would look like. But let's keep looking and see. Now, this is a really interesting niche. This is very specific, but it's got a really good search volume, 6,000, 2,000, 239,000 keyword dollars in that keyword, boho room decor for bedroom. So that's a very specific niche, but that could be really cool. So we might take a look at that and see what that looks like. Unique wall decor. So a lot of wall decor, some more boho decor. So farmhouse. So you can see how you're getting some really cool niches out of this. Shelf decoration. So I never would have thought of just shelf decorations. That's pretty interesting. Bookshelf decor, fireplace decorations for the mantle. Yeah, so I'm getting a lot of really cool ideas here out of things that I wouldn't have thought of. Minecraft lamp. My granddaughter would love that. Modern boho decor. So you can see how just by putting in a really broad term, you have been able to generate a lot of things. So let's take a look. I want to see what some of these look like. Boho wall decor. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, that's really cool. Now, price point, not too high on that one, but you can see here. So they've got a shelf that's got macrame. So they've combined two different things there. And that's really cool. Some different art, you know, some natural eucalyptus and some decent price points here. So this is something, you know, different ways to do some moon decor, different types of macrame. So you can generate a whole lot of ideas just from that one term. So we started really broad with home decor. We narrowed it down to boho wall decor. And then we come and look on on Amazon with that, and we see lots of other ideas. So there's lots of different types of macrame wall hangings, different types of shelves, different types of other wall hangings within a niche. So some really cool ideas here. So short and sweet today. That is pretty much what I want to show you guys. I know this is, I want to open it up to some questions. Let me go back to our slides. There we go. Yeah, all right, so we've done that. So let me just open it up and see. So what kind of questions do you guys have about what I've shown you or about anything else with Amazon? So I know this wasn't a very long and in-depth session, but it's just that's quick and simple to be able to generate some really cool ideas and just dive deeper and go through the whole process. You know, getting that idea, going to Amazon, narrowing it down, seeing what the Chrome extension shows, and then taking it through the steps of Sales Spy and Love Hate and seeing how it bears out the rest of the way. Okay, so that's a great question, Ian. What is a session and how careful do we need to be using them? So let me share my screen again and I'll look back here on Niche Finder. So this is our demo, our ZonGuru demo account. Let me go, Niche Finder is the one I wanted to look at. Okay, so we have some added sessions on this, and I apologize. Numbers are the blank spot in my mind. I don't ever remember numbers. So I don't remember off the top of my head exactly how many sessions you'll get with your subscription, but it is quite generous. But if you want to know how many sessions you have, you can always look under the tool and it'll tell you right here. So 250 sessions this month, and it's not based on a calendar month, and it is not based on your subscription period if you're on a monthly subscription. It's based on a 30-day rolling cycle. So if I use a session today by generating, and I use my session when I hit search. So if I hit search again, you can see now that I've used 45 instead of 44. So those are on a rolling day. So in 30 days, I'll have another session granted back, and it'll just keep going like that. If you find that you're using more sessions than you can always get an add-on for those if you want to. But I think you probably have a pretty good number of sessions with most of the subscriptions, with all of the subscriptions. And if you do things like I showed, like add things to favorites, you can go back and look at that later. And like I said, when you hit the load more, that doesn't use up another session. So see, I'll use load more and go back up, and you can see still 45. And you can keep doing that. It will just keep going and going based on whatever filter parameters that you've put into it. So yeah, it just keeps going. So yeah. So I hope that answers your question. So any other questions? And it doesn't have to be about what we've done today. It can be about anything Amazon or ZonGuru related. Okay, so keywords on fire. I guess I should just keep my screen sharing open. We'll just do that. So let me just go back and open, I think there we go. So when you log into ZonGuru, I'll show you guys just a few things. It sounds like you guys may be a little bit new to the tools, so I'll give you a quick little tour. So over here, you've got your list of all tools. So you've got your learn and grow section where you've got your pathway to success, which is a really great section. It takes you through with little short videos of each of the tools and gives you a quick overview of how you can use them. You've also got your help and training section where you can find FAQs and tutorials as well. And then we've also got the $1 Million Challenge, which is a really great challenge that you guys can jump into for free. But we've got the tools divided up into product research, listing optimization, business metrics, monitoring and alerts, and customer engagement. So when you're doing your product research, you start at the top with niche finder, Chrome extension, and you just go all the way down. But if you want to get to keywords on fire, that's under your listing optimization. So you can find that tool right here. And then the other tools, the business metrics, monitoring, and customer engagement, those will be the tools that you'll start using when you jump up to a seller subscription when you're going live. So you have everything at your disposal with ZonGuru up until the point that you actually go live in Amazon. We can take you through, creating your listing with Listing Optimizer, generating your keywords with Keywords on Fire, and have you absolutely ready. And then as soon as your stock hits Amazon, that's when you would want to bump up to that seller level so you can take advantage of the business metrics, the monitoring alerts, and especially the customer engagement. So I hope that answered your question, Ian. Does anybody else have any questions today? I'll give it a minute. Sometimes takes a bit for people to type, and there's a little bit of a delay before it pops up. All right, well, if you guys don't have any other questions, we will call it early today. My goodness, that really was a lot of information in a really short session. I hope you guys got some value out of it, and are ready to now go out and tackle and generate your own new product ideas using some of these strategies. So if you guys have any questions that you think of later, don't hesitate. Just jump into the chat and support, and you can message us or you can email us at support@zonguru.com, and we will be happy to answer any of your questions at any time. So hope you guys have a really great day and a good weekend this weekend.